Okay. Can you state your name and your affiliation with Cause Canada?
Yeah, my name is Alpha Agilu Shaw, and I'm working with Cross Canada with the SWEAT program, Sierra Leone Women Empowerment Trust, microfinance, one of the components set in Cross Canada Salon Partnership.
And what is the mandate of the SWEAT program?
The mandate of the SWEAT program was the primary target was considering the most marginalized women who cannot access loan in those rural communities who have been sidelined for years. So the program was set up to look into those people to see how best we can empower them, bring them up, so that women in Sierra Leone can live a happy life and achieve a better living.
And why couldn't the women access loans from regular banks?
It's surrounded so many factors. Like one, it surrounded traditions. In this part of the country, initially, women are not decision makers, and then the criteria set for having loans could not guarantee them for them to have loans. So we had the traditional factor, religious factor, and then social factors.
So you primarily serve women and not men?
Yeah, definitely, because we actually look at the overall rule set from Cause Canada aspect. We notice this we are left out, and these are the reasons why Sierra Leone has been grown difficult in the past years,
And how effective is the SWEAT program?
It has been very, very effective over the years since it was established, and it has served over 1,500 women since 2009 upwards, and a lot of successes have been realized from this program. And as of now, despite the Ebola, despite the challenges faced in the previous years, those outbreaks have occurred, but we still have a very strong women working with the program, over 105 groups, very, very active, receiving loans at a twin of minimum of 700 at an average.
Sorry, 700 what?
Per member.
700 leons.
Per member, 700,000 leons per member.
Okay.
Which is very close to $100 or maybe 100 Canadian dollar.
Per
member.
And how often do they receive this?
The contract depend on the contract they agree upon. Some will agree for 3 months. Mm-hmm. Some will agree for 6, which is the maximum. So minimum we have 3, maximum 6, and we have 4 members minimum in a group. We have 6 members maximum in a group.
And so are the women accountable to each other in their group, or how do you make sure that the loans are repaid every week?
It is not our responsibility to form the group. That's why it's a solidarity group. We teach them, we train them what solidarity means, how could a solidarity group could be formed. We are there as a technicians to help them. They will form themselves together, which they believe they are strong, and they have weaker ones around which they believe they can raise them up. So they form their groups. We will come and evaluate, and we started training them. We'll give them 6-week training orientations on small micro basis, and then from then we enroll them into the program with a startup of at least in the town now. Initially was 150, we go up to 200 per member, and now we are giving 500 based on the economic situations.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
And what happens then if you take part in a group and one member hasn't paid their loan?
Well, that's our own role. The tie was very strong, the solidarity, because it's compulsory on them, and then because that's what we agree, they will pay. The group take the responsibility.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the agreement.
And can you share a success story of a particular situation that's been successful in the past years you've been working?
Yeah, well, like since as we measured, the overall goal was to see how we can empower them. We have a lot of human interest stories which life has changed from a level we met then to a different level, because the overall objective The overall objective was to look into these women and see that they live a happy life in their homes and to avoid conflict issues in the homes. So we had a lot of stories which have come up that one, like marriages that are almost falling apart, based on these loans being having from these women and they are sharing thought among themselves. They were there to settle some of those conflicts arising from husbands.
Can you explain one particular situation that you remember that was impactful?
Well, I don't know, maybe, but like, yeah. There was a story recently we understand. The other members we are grumbling for a delay in payment, but a member took a loan. When he took this loan, she has been having problem with the husband because in this part of the world, when you marry to a man, they are expecting children. If you stay too long, you don't bear a child, you'll be chased. The husband family will chase you out. They will begin to call you names. They will chastise you. So this has been worrying the lady. The lady has become worried. And she doesn't want to lose her marriage. So what she did was to go extra mile without telling the husband, sort out forms, go for medical checkup. She did this medical checkup. She was given an advice based on the medical advice. She paid the bills. She doesn't want to disturb. And the husband, even despite the husband was illiterate, the husband was even a policeman. But despite knowing all these things, she was still that tradition is part of us. The family has been very worried. They need a grandchild. They have been tormenting him. So the lady go extra mile and do this spending. So that disturbed her business a bit because diverting the funds from that of her business to do those extra expenditures. So I was able to know this later on my own field visit. The loan officer was worried about it. When I checked, we noticed and we had to extend the contract for her because for us, we know these are some of the things we know can erupt and we can encourage them on some of those things so that life will go on. So, and indeed, after some months, she was able to take in, you're pregnant, and now that she has delivered, they were very happy, living a very happy home. Later, she was able to explain to the husband, and the husband was happy for us, and the husband contributed in paying the loan after all.
Wow. Well, congratulations. That's
Yeah,
great work.
yeah.